Okay, so yeah, we're back now. We just, I remember that we just had to go back through the chronicle, come back to this. No, not this point. This point here, the weather, and we chose the break option because that was a new path that we haven't taken yet. Right, so off to the treehouse with us. Okay.
Luca saw Beck skulking by the gate.
What did you know? Come on. So you're telling me there's nothing mysterious or creepy about this place? It's mostly boring and empty. I refuse to believe that. Big spiked gate, looming mansion, rich reclusive owners. It even smells shady.
Beck grabbed the wrought iron bars and shook the gate.
Mark my words, you decadent nightmare house. You will reveal your secrets to me! Oh, that was unexpected. I certainly don't remember this happening. Whoa, okay, What did you do? First of all, I told you so. Second, hide! Ah, Eris. That's Eris Valentine. Who's that she's talking to? Shh. I expect you to return that suit in working order. Of course. As long as everything proceeds as planned, there's nothing to worry about. The only thing I'm worried about is what's rightfully mine. If that means making some unsavory alliances, so be it. Oh, I think this might actually be Gran. I couldn't agree more. There comes a time to suspend hostilities. I'll deal with our common threat. Now this is what I was talking about.
Beck's voice was an excited whisper.
Proper shady stuff. Someone in a suit like that tried to grab me yesterday. Seriously? Shh. You do understand that when this all inevitably fails, I will deny everything. I wouldn't expect any less of you. You just worry about your part in this and let me handle the rest. I can't wait to see the look on that Rube Kerr's face. Yes, the truth will come to light. I'm still surprised you're so comfortable with potential collateral damage. If there's one thing I've learned, is that it's that change is painful. Wow, I was expecting shady, but that's just flat out supervillain talk. If you don't mind me asking, why? Why are you doing all of this?
The mysterious figure retracted their mask, hair pushing out from all corners.
It is Gran! I knew it! Family.
A chill ran down Luca's spine. His vision blurred. Beck stifled a sharp wince, and Luca looked down to see himself wrenching her hand.
An answer I can certainly respect.
Gran tousled her hair back under the face mask.
Just remember, keep everything nice and normal until the festival. I don't need lessons in arousing suspicion.
Gran gave Eris a curt nod and disappeared into the night.
I did not remember all of that.
Chapter 5. What big ears you have. Lucas sat shivering in the bushes, staring at his feet. After checking to make sure the coast was clear, Beck gave him a gentle tug on his sweater.
What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. Why were you so scared of that old lady in the hazmat suit? That was my Gran. That was your Gran? Yeah. Okay, well, I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for all of this. Let's just get to the treehouse and figure things out there. Lead the way. Meet up with Rolo at the treehouse. And then we get to have another confrontation.
The Valentine mansion loomed over every both figurative.
Okay, we already looked at that before. Probably the same thing.
After the Valentines shuddered off.
Yep, okay. Going up. Oh, wow. Can't even enter the woods. Okay. Mushroom? Nope. I was still hungry. Hungry after the emotional experiences we had in the bedroom. Oh.
For the last time, there's nothing to worry about.
Of course, we're not worried.
The clipboard finished writing with a scratchy flourish and looked up.
Just dotting our I's and crossing our T's.
Well, maybe try minding your P's and Q's.
Mr. Nuncreed, arms crossed over his paunch, gave an exhausted sigh.
If there's anything you need knowing, you'll know it.
Absolutely. If you just sign here, acknowledging everything is accurate, we'll be out of your hair in a flash.
Oh, for the love of...
He snatched the pad and scribbled his name so hard the pen nearly snapped.
There. And would you like my eternal soul as well?
The clipboards looked at each other for a moment, almost pondering the possibility, then broke into laughter as they walked away.
Okay, we're gonna have to go past Mr. Nuncreed. I have a feeling this is another encounter. This might be another turning point. Okay, we can choose to talk to him. Hi, Mr. Nuncreed.
Luca, let me give you some advice. The next time someone you don't know asks to hear your thoughts, give him a good hard bop right in the kisser.
Oh, Grant tells me to just keep away from the clipboards.
That's good. That's good. Your Grand's a smart lady, Luca. Speaking of which, you better run along home now. Too dark out to be wandering on your own.
But I'm not on my own. I'm with my friend. See? Beck. See? 2 people. Right here. We are not alone. Do you need to change your prescription there, Mr. Nuncreed? I mean, you have the pharmacy in town, but that doesn't mean that you're an optometrist. Anyway. Oh, hello. Mrs. Hunch is out here. The answers you seek will be revealed to you in due time. The question is, the figure intoned, are you prepared to live with the truth? Well, that's ominous. I'd better not dilly-dally. Another day, another dollar. See you tomorrow, Z. Have you noticed how all the Perennial Harvest folks order the same drink? Decaf cappuccino with extra foam. Why? I don't know. Just thought it's a little odd. Pretty weird, for sure. Well, customer's always right. See you bright and early tomorrow. I can't wait. I mean, there's not a whole lot in the way of jobs around here, so it's not like he has too much of a choice, really, in his employment. Mrs. Fratelli! Mrs. Fratelli! Mrs. Fratelli! Fine, we're on our own. It's always up to the kids. Always up to the kids to figure things out. The adults don't care. Oh, Mr. Kern Valentine. Yes? Listen in.
William Kerr and Gus Valentine proudly surveyed the half-covered festival banner.
It's all coming together quite nicely.
Couldn't have done it without you.
The mayor gave a half-hearted shrug.
I'm not so sure about that.
Nonsense! That reminds me, I wasn't able to thank your sister for her contributions.
Yes, she has been indisposed of late.
She doesn't much like me, does she?
Oh no, that's not it at all. She's just been busy.
Of course. Regardless, I would be forever grateful if you could pass my thanks on to her. The History Museum adds a real air of import to the whole affair. And we couldn't very well celebrate the history of Beacon Pines without including the Valentines.
My father was a great man.
You're darn tootin' he was.
Kerr locked his arm on Gus's shoulder.
But I mean the entire Valentine family. Present company included.
Can I ask you something, Mr. Kerr?
Call me William. Ask away.
William, why are you doing all of this?
Gosh, I've never felt one needed a compelling reason to throw a party.
Not just the festival. All of this. There's gotta be 100 down-on-their-luck towns out there. Why is Perennial Harvest so invested in helping Beacon Pines?
You know what I love most about the agriculture business? Seeds.
Seeds?
Yep, little bundles of potential.
With a glimmer in his eye, Kerr gestured grandly toward the horizon.
You treat a seed right, nurture it, feed it, and it can grow into something truly special.
You see potential here?
Undoubtedly. The seed of greatness is already under our feet. All it needs is a little nudge, and the right leadership, of course.
Oh,
Good night, Mayor Valentine. Not even gonna question that there were two kids behind them listening to the entire conversation. Not that there was anything shady about the conversation, but still. And of course, Gus does bring up a good point, really, of just not just Perennial Harvest, but also really for Sharper Valentine in the beginning, really so. Why come to this place to set down his agriculture business, or to set down their agriculture business? The answers you seek will come into dawn. Ah, this is nice. Yeah, the treehouse is just a little further on from here. So what's your buddy Rollo like? Rollo, he's... Rollo. Not particularly helpful. Sorry, I've just never thought about it. Lots of energy. He's funny, even when he's not trying to be. Things have been tough for his family since the Foul Harvest. It's about time you tell me what this Foul Harvest thingy is. It's kinda a long story. Hit me with the highlights. Okay. There used to be a fertilizer company here called Valentine's. They were kind of a big deal. Ooh, big deal fertilizer. It was a big deal to us. Their stuff really worked. Farmers loved it. So Valentine's grew and grew. Beacon Pines pretty much grew around it. Most everyone in town either worked for Sharper Valentine or used his fertilizer. Things were good. I'm sensing a big but. Around 6 years ago, Sharper Valentine suddenly died. And something changed. Changed how? Could have been a bad batch. Maybe it was in the water, or air, or soil. Nobody knows. But all the crops died. And everyone blamed the Valentines. The Foul Harvest. Yeah. Valentine's fertilizer went out of business. Half the town lost their jobs. Sheesh. The next year, the crops came back, but something was different. You plant a crop, do everything right, and it's sort of a crapshoot what happens. And no one knows why? Nope. I take it Rollo's farm got the short end of the stick? Yep. For some reason, their farm was hit harder than others. That sucks. Things have gotten better since Perennial Harvest came to town. The Beacon Pines Reborn initiative? Yep, first thing they did was give the town a deep scrub. They even put us up in hotels, one town over for a week, while they decontaminated the groundwater. We'd better get going. Yep. Meet up with Rolo. Here we go.
It's about time! I was about to give up and go home. Who was the new kid?
Name's Beck. You must be Rolo.
I see my reputation precedes me. Welcome to Mission Control.
Rolo waggled his head with pride.
You'll find we spared no expense in construction.
I've seen worse looking piles of junk.
Thanks. Hey, Luca, you know the security concerns we talked about?
Yeah?
While I was waiting, I made some improvements. Let me lock this baby down for a little test infiltration. Can't be too safe these days.
Yep. Okay. Is that it? Just bring up the ladder and... Up. Okay. Window. Whoa! Excuse me. What? This is a little sus. A target practice. He goes all out, doesn't he? Always. Lavish. Okay. What next? So yes, there's a target. Hey Rolo. Okay, I think you've demonstrated. Oh, okay. Hold up. Okay, now we got something. And toss. That's not close enough. No. Two. Toss. Toss. Okay, definitely not facing the right way. Come on. Yep. It's a little hard to distinguish where you're actually going to be throwing. Ding. I mean, standing right in front of the dang thing. Where did you guys get all this junk in the first place? There's a guy in town named Jeff who trades us junk for snacks. Junk food for junk. Nice. Or and go back here. Right where we belong. A place for everything, and everything in its place. Even junk.
So, pretty sweet security, right?
It was imaginative, I'll give you that.
Luca, are we sure we can trust the new recruit?
I'll vouch for her. Thanks, I guess?
Okay, Luca, you promised to fill me in about the Valentine warehouse.
Luca sucked in a long breath.
So, like I said, there was someone there.
What were they doing?
I don't know, but the place was lit up and active.
Maybe they were squatters?
I don't think so. It seemed more organized. When the man pulled me in, I saw some sort of equipment running.
A man pulled you in?
Yeah, but I got away. You keep saying it was a man. They were wearing a mask, right? Yeah. Then it could have been a woman.
How did you get away?
I grabbed a rock or something and broke their mask. They let go and I ran.
Dang.
That's intense. No wonder you freaked out when you saw your grandma. Yeah, that's the other part. On our way here, Beck and I saw Eris Valentine meeting with Gran, wearing some sort of hazmat suit.
Rolo let out a low whistle.
And they weren't there for idle chit-chat. It was a proper clandestine meetup.
So let me get this straight. There's an operation in full swing at the Valentine warehouse. You're almost abducted by a strange man or woman in a protective suit. And then you saw your Gran, in the same suit, talking to Eris Valentine?
Pretty much. I'm beginning to think this town's kind of awesome.
Rolo and Luca shot back a look.
No offense.
And so, we can logically conclude aliens or alien zombies have infiltrated the town, and their leader's your gran, and she tried to murder you.
First of all, and for the last time, there are no aliens. Second, it couldn't have been my gran at the warehouse. I broke that person's mask to get away. The mask Gran was wearing wasn't damaged. But she's definitely hiding something. Maybe.
Your gran is weird, but she might be the most boring person in the universe. All she does is sit around all day making jam. What could she possibly have to hide?
I don't know. We haven't talked much since she moved in. Okay, that's kind of awkward. She's been around for 6 months and you haven't really talked? I mean, well, no wonder you haven't really gotten over your grief there, kid. Wow. Moved in? Your gran isn't from here? No, she came a few months back to take care of me
After his mom went missing.
Did you know your gran before? Not really, no. It'd been years since I'd seen her. Luca, don't take this the wrong way, but are we sure your gran is on the up and up?
Luca gazed out the window.
I'm just saying. It sounds like strange stuff has been happening since she showed up.
We could say the same thing about your family. But you're right. Luca, your gran is hiding something. And Pa always says, folks only bury stuff worth digging up. We need to investigate your house.
If my gran really is hiding something, don't you think I would have noticed by now? That's kind of the whole point of hiding something. I guess you're right. Gran's been leaving the house for hours at a time this week. I'll call you two tomorrow when the coast is clear. And we can start getting to the bottom of this.
I'm always game for a good snoop.
You can count me in.
Chapter 6. Secret Lair.
Secret lair or secret layer?
Summer forged ahead, but the nights only seemed to grow colder.
Oh, that's also odd.
Luca walked home slowly under the pale starlight, cautious to avoid any more surprises lurking in the shadows.
Oh, come on. If it's anyone, it's probably just Dawn.
Reaching home, he slipped quietly into bed, half dreading what they might discover the next day.
Well, what time is it? I mean, they're both sweaters. Well, kind of. Oh, no, this is like an actual sweater. That's just a long sleeve shirt. Yeah. Coming. Hold your horses, or hold your cat feet. I think they're both cats, really, so. Rollo, what on earth is that?
Huh?
That ridiculous thing on your head.
All this? Helps me think.
You're gonna need a lot more of those.
Joke all you want. We'll see who's laughing when I crack this case wide open. The coast is clear?
Yep, whatever she's been up to this week, it's been keeping her busy most of the day.
Very well. Game is afoot.
Luca and Beck rolled their eyes as Rollo strutted across the room.
If I were a gran, where would I hide my deepest, darkest secrets? Perhaps where you might least expect it.
Rollo flung open the cabinet with confidence.
Ha!
He coughed as a veil of dust hid his face.
I think it's safe to assume anything that dusty isn't what we're looking for.
Or maybe that's what she wants you to think. Then again, any good detective knows not to trust their first hunch. First hunches are for suckers. Eureka! She's lit a fire in order to burn the evidence.
She keeps that fire going every day, Rollo.
Drat! It may already be too late. Just think of the amount of documents lost to ash.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. Can we think for just a moment? Luca, is there anywhere Gran doesn't want you to go? Yeah, the closet upstairs. So maybe it stands to reason that we should check there first. No dice, it's locked.
Well, well, well. Look who stands to reason now.
And I have no idea where the key is. If it really is important, then she probably keeps it with her. Anywhere else? She has her berry bushes.
Who's ever thought? I'm going to take this important thing and huck it in a bush.
True. Anything else? Maybe something out of the ordinary? Well, she is always worried I'll break her fancy dishware in the kitchen. But it doesn't matter anyway, I can't reach the latch.
A look of realization crept onto Luca's face. All three kids snapped to glance at each other, then sprinted in turn toward the kitchen.
Behind the hutch! Alright, Rollo. This is your time to shine.
Ah, yes. You've called upon my expert detective skills. And now I shall proceed with...
Before he could finish, Luca scrambled up Rollo's back.
This isn't my idea of detective work.
Every squad needs a good lockpick. And every good lockpick needs a sturdy head to sit on.
This is beneath my standing.
Stop complaining and hold still. Got it!
The three crowded around the hutch to peer in. With the glass doors opened, a perfect porcelain display gleamed in front of them. Their eyes searched for anything amiss. But the only distinct feature was its impeccability.
Well, that was anticlimactic. Yeah. I don't really know what we were expecting. Like, oh hey! Let me just yank at this random teacup and...
Pulled on one of the teacups. It slanted forward with a hollow click. The entire hutch began to rustle and slide under its own
Good
power.
instinct there. Good instinct there, Beck. Seems like your gran has been doing some remodeling.
Dude, only 2 types of people have secret lairs. Evil masterminds and superheroes.
So, which one do we think she is? We're about to find out. Okay, so more of an unhinged conspiracist vibe?
Oh, wow. Yeah, this cannot be good.
We need to look around before jumping to conclusions. Okay, so we're gonna be exploring this secret basement then. Yep, back. Okay. Let's see. Find a cabinet. Oh, nope, I'm sorry, wrong button.
Luca jostled each cabinet drawer in turn.
Excuse
Only
me.
one was unlocked. He fingered through the filing cabinet, pausing at a bulging folder labeled Walter. For a long moment, he just stared at it.
What do you got there?
It's my dad. Looks like some of his old medical files. Your dad was a doctor?
Luca nodded and caressed the label with his thumb.
Well, are you gonna read it? Here, let me help.
Rollo swiped the folder from the drawer and began leafing through the pages. He whistled to himself, barely looking at the text.
How about you actually read some of it?
One sec. Dense documents such as this are a lot like a cheeseburger. It's best to skip straight to the middle. That's where all the meaty bits live.
Wow, I had no idea we were in the presence of the preeminent scholar in dense documents. And cheeseburgers. By all means, proceed.
He stopped at a page and mimed, holding up a monocle.
Ah, here we are. Follow-up examination of Terrence Wilby. Patient shows further signs of paleness and malaise. Body temperature continues to drop. He now describes soreness of muscles and joints. This is similar to the symptoms exhibited by Mrs. Wilby just a few days past. Still waiting on lab results from Joseph.
Rollo looked up with heightened surprise.
See? Creepy.
Yeah, that's kinda disturbing. Who's Joseph?
That's Mr. Nuncreed's name.
Ah, wonderful.
Wait,
Rollo's finger traced across the page.
there's more scribbled in the margins. Could it be contagious? Mr. Wilby claims the tap water at his home has been contaminated. Perhaps environmental? Lab results only raise more questions.
It's like he came back to this report later and made those notes.
So it might be related to something else.
Rollo scanned through several more pages.
Here, the writing looks shaky. I just couldn't help her. This disease, or whatever it is, progresses so fast. And with his wife passing, Terrence's condition follows close behind, exacerbated by the loss. Enough is enough. I need to take matters into my own hands.
Luca, staring blankly at the cabinet this whole time, spoke softly.
What does it say next?
Rollo rustled the folder, trying to loose more pages.
Oh, that's where it ends.
What? There has to be more!
Luca frantically shoved the remaining cabinet folders, trying to find another labeled Walter.
Luca, I think that's the only one. It's alphabetical, see? What did he mean, enough is enough? How did he take matters into his own hands? This is bullshit!
Luca slammed the drawer shut.
What do we have here?
Barrels marked caution explosive. And jam jars? That's enough jam to feed the whole town.
What kind of incendiary jam is your gran making?
Incendiary? She wouldn't have had me walk around town delivering bombs. Right?
Only one way to find out.
Rollo casually spun open a lid and dipped his finger in the jam.
Huckleberries,
He smacked his lips.
a hint of brown sugar, and ink?
What?
Rollo plunged his hand in the jar, fishing out a soggy slip of paper.
Aha!
Rollo offered the slimy note to Luca and licked his fingers clean.
It's addressed to Mrs. Fratelli.
A grand jamgram?
It says, last night I used the disguise errors provided to scout the location. The timing window should be possible. Operation Spark Plug is a go.
Oh man, are they doing a heist?
Whatever it is, it can't be good. Some more bombshell than a bomb, am I right?
You're new here, so I'll let it slide.
Hers was better than your grand jamgram.
But I'm the bad joke guy around here.
Okay, so you're just stabbing yourself in the foot here, really, so with that, but... Oh, bunk. Gotta warm ourselves up. We're gonna get into a fight, so... Fast as I can, fast as I can, fast as I can. Come on. Yeah. Okay. Alright, I thought possibly I might have gotten another charm out of that.
A spider web of string connected photos of people from the town, interspersed with hastily scrawled notes.
Well, she sure has kept herself busy.
Is your gran a serial killer? 'Cause I'm starting to get a vibe.
Don't be ridiculous.
Sure, she's just tracking the movements of everyone in town. Out of the kindness of her heart.
She put little symbols by some of them. Yeah, Mr. Nuncreed has a check mark. The clipboards are all inside a big circle. My mom's are both on here. Both with question marks. Gus Valentine has a question mark. Eris has a question mark that's been crossed out. Mr. Kerr has a bullseye.
The killer has chosen her next victim!
We don't know what any of this means. Whatever it means, it's probably not good.
Anything else? Because that's obviously... That's going to trigger something here. Just want to make sure I don't miss anything else.
Are you just gonna leave us down here?
Yeah, come on, this place gotta be filled with juicy evidence.
Alright, here we go.
They crowded around a worn-down old map of Beacon Pines.
Cool, this looks like a treasure map.
Not every old map is a treasure map, Rollo.
Yeah, but every treasure map is an old map.
Can't fault that logic.
Look, there's even a pathway drawn on it. It starts at the entrance to town. And if we follow it,
Rollo carefully traced the path with his finger.
it leads right
He
to...
jabbed down at the end point.
Town Square?
That's the fountain in the middle of town.
What a weird place to hide treasure.
Rollo, that doesn't look like treasure to me. The end of the path on that map has the same symbol as those explosives over there.
So, it's not hiding treasure. A real bummer.
Rollo, what's that thing you've been excited about for the past month?
The festival! Oh. Gulp.
Did you just say gulp?
This feels like a gulp kind of situation.
Everyone will be gathered near the center of town.
She's gonna blow up the festival!
Not if we stop her. What was that?
Luca looked up from the map.
What was that?
No, I heard it too. That was the front door. Which means someone's just shut the door. Which means someone's upstairs.
Shh, quiet. Hit the lights.
Beck flicked off the light, and they became statues in the dark. Overhead, creaking floorboards bent under slow, deliberate steps. The kids looked up, the tilt of their necks following each footfall.
Gran?
Then suddenly,
Gran?
it stopped.
Oh boy.
Without realizing, they'd been holding their breath. All three exhaled shakily and glanced at each other. A muffled male voice broke the silence.
So not Graham.
Oh.
Alright.
Hello?
A final few footsteps reached the entrance above them, and the voice now echoed down the stairs.
Anyone down here there?
The three kids shuffled to the corners without a peep. As he began to descend the stairs, the man's voice punctuated every new step. Thump,
Yoo-hoo!
thump,
I'm not here to hurt anyone.
thump.
I'm just here to help. Just...
At the bottom step, the man paused, squinting to search the room for signs of life.
Huh. Guess it's nothing.
Rollo shifted suddenly. Luca gave him an intense, chastising look and whispered through clenched teeth.
Rollo, don't.
It was too late. Rollo was already inching toward the stairway. He screeched as he charged toward the shadowy figure.
Ah! Flaming chicken coop!
With all his weight, Rollo tackled the man to the ground.
Rollo? Mysterious creepy man? Anyone there?
From the dark corner, they saw something move.
Well, I didn't know if I had it in me. There was only one way to find out.
Holy crap, Rollo. That was awesome. Wait, did you just kill that person?
Luca scrambled to the hunched figure on the ground. Pressing his fingers to the man's neck, he sighed with relief.
You sure clobbered him good, Rollo. He's knocked out cold.
As Beck flicked back on the light, Luca and Rollo both gasped in stereo.
Mr. Tolliver!
Chapter 7. The Interrogation of Hiram Tolliver.
Chapter 7, I think that's the farthest we've actually progressed right now.
Still unconscious, Mr. Tolliver slumped heavily in a shoddy old chair. His hands were bound with rope, his feet tied with some loose string. The kids huddled in a circle, discussing their plan.
Again, you never know when you're gonna need string.
One thing was certain. They couldn't just let Mr. Tolliver go. They needed to know what he was doing in Luca's house. After some deliberation, it was decided.
They'd run the classic good cop, blank cop interrogation. I mean, the closest that it would actually make sense is hard cop, but chill cop? Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna go a little bit different. We're gonna go with the second option first, okay?
They'd run the classic good cop, hard cop interrogation. Rollo brandished a steely gaze. I've got this. Read about it 100 times. Rollo swaggered past the chair which propped up the slumping Hiram Tolliver. Without even looking at his captive, he began with a long, blustery drawl.
Well, Mr. Tolliver.
Mr. Tolliver remained motionless. Rollo spun around to face him. He'd clearly expected to rouse Mr. Tolliver with his booming voice.
Mr. Tolliver?
Beck and Luca gave each other an unsure glance. Rollo slammed his fist on the table.
I said, Mr. Tolliver!
He grabbed the table lamp and beamed it onto the unconscious face. Mr. Tolliver groaned and slowly lifted his head. He recoiled with a muddled, weary squint.
What in the world?
The chair wobbled as he attempted to straighten up.
Who's there?
Mr. Tolliver could only make out rough shapes through the glaring light. With a gruff tone, Rollo hoped to both conceal his voice and intimidate.
I'll be asking the questions here, punk.
Now, hold on. Let's just calm down.
Oh, I am calm. Calm as a carrot in dirt. As for you, looks like you're
The
sweating.
doubtful expression on Beck and Luca's faces transformed into awe.
We can do this my way, or let's just say I've never needed another way.
Rollo, hitting his stride, was now channeling every detective trope his memory could recall. He slammed the table again.
Now that's...
What? I don't even...
Mr. Tolliver's voice became desperate. He was nearly in tears.
You've tied me down. How on earth can I dance?
Dance with your mouth, punk. Spill the beans. What are you doing poking around this house?
I'm here to help Juniper. Make sure everything's ready.
Oh, so you're in cahoots with Gran.
Grant?
Mr. Tolliver was in a daze, now more confused than ever.
Gonna help her blow up the festival, huh?
Blow up the festival? Good Lord!
Shook his head, feeling more and more dizzy.
No, you got it all wrong.
Where is she now?
She's headed to the source.
Source? What's the source?
It's
His
where
voice faded to a whisper.
the town began. Where it all began.
What is Operation Sparkplug?
With that, Mr. Tolliver passed out cold.
Ugh.
Rollo swung around with a repentant grimace.
Wow. I mean, we know that Mr. Tolliver was kind of like not good for for being a detective, but wow, he's such a soft boy. He's such a soft boy. Being yelled at a kid makes him pass out. Damn, Rollo. I think you went a little too hard on him. What did he say about the source? It's where the town began?
We need more information.
Yeah, but we better not push Mr. Tolliver any farther. Is there anyone else who might know more?
What about the History Museum? It just got set up for the festival.
No, that tent was put up by the Valentines.
Everything they do is just a bunch of fluff to glorify themselves. Is there anything more reliable? The library. If there's any information about this source thing, Kato can help us find it. Let's go get some answers. Boop, 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 boop.
Oh, and now we have a train in true JRPG fashion. Do, 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 do. Can we speak to Jace? Nope, Jace? Okay, Jace is too absorbed in this book.
This is a dang nice library. Thanks, we work hard on it. Aren't you a little too adorable to be a librarian?
Be adorable.
Oh, Kato hung out here so much, eventually they gave him a set of keys. I just keep an eye on the place for Miss Novak sometimes. They got you working for free? It's quiet and I get access to all the books I can read. What more could a person want? Fair enough. What can I do for you all? We need a favor. I already told you and Rollo, I can't put you any higher on the wait list for the next Hank Atomic. And if you're here with more candy, I'll have you know I can't be bought. Call it a personal code of conscience. Actually, we're looking to do some research. Now you're speaking my language. What are you looking for? That's the thing. We sort of don't know.
What do you got on the history of the town?
There's the county record archives. What's in those? Births, deaths, newspaper clippings, stuff like that. Pretty boring reading. But they do go all the way back to when the town was founded. Great, we'll start there.
Chapter 8. 6 feet under, 3 towns over. The kids spent the rest of the afternoon combing through dusty piles of old county records, desperately searching for anything that could help them make sense of Mr. Tolliver's cryptic utterance. Luca tried to shake the thought of Gran's basement, but his focus wavered. Explosives, messages hidden in jam, dossiers on various town figures, and a corkboard threaded with photos. Gran was the only family he had left. He still couldn't bring himself to believe the worst. But the old map with the symbol of explosives in town square made that difficult. As the sun began to set, the kids were no closer to the truth.